Good morning, children. So, today we are going to start the new topic, that is means of transport, week 2, enrichment sheet 1 of theme 5. In this topic, we are going to see what are the different means of transport. What is transport and what are the different means of transport? So, let me explain you that actually what is transport. Transport is a system of moving from one place to the other. Okay, it is a system of moving from one place to the other. In olden days, let us take the example of early man. Early man don't have any transportation facilities. He used to go from one place to the other only by walking. And the main thing what he was to do, he was a food gatherer. He was a hunter. That's all. He don't have any work like us. Going to school, going to office, software engineer, police, doctor. No. All these works were not there for early man. The main thing of the early man was he was a food gatherer. He was a hunter. That's all. The thing he has to go, yes, hunt an animal and bring that animal for his food. Then he used to go by walking only. Wherever he want to go, he used to go by walking, and that too barefoot. Barefoot means nothing was there to their foot. No chappal, no sandal, no shoes, nothing. He used to go by barefoot and he used to walk kilometers to gather his food. Then slowly, when he discovered fire, when he discovered wheel, yes, when he discovered farming, first he discovered fire accidentally. Then he came to know that fire is very important. We can cook food with the help of fire. Then he discovered farming. How he discovered farming? When he throwed some seeds of fruits, that seeds become into new plants. Then he came to know that okay, whenever we throw seeds, a new plant develops there. Then he started sowing seeds, and he thought that we should not go anywhere. We can settle a place. Then he started settling near the banks of the river. Why banks of the river? Because for plants, yes, he came to know that we need water for the plants to grow. Then he started settling life. Then afterwards, what happened? He discovered wheel. So after the discover of wheel, a life of early man was totally changed. And this is the greatest achievement in the life history of human beings. Discover of fire, discover of wheel is the greatest achievement, because after the discover of wheel, now man started to move from one place to the other on these wheels. He prepared carts out of the wheels. He prepared carts. What carts? Bullock carts, camel carts, horse carts, tongas. Okay, slowly, like that, he prepared everything and he started moving from one place to the other. So, like that, the transportation has taken a different stages. Then came slowly, like cycles were invented, bikes were invented, motorbikes were invented, bus, car, like the two-wheeler, three-wheeler, four-wheeler. Then slowly there was a lot of change in the transportation. So our topic for today is means of transportation. Means of transport or means of transportation. Transport refers to a system of carrying people, animal, goods, and services from one place to the other. So, transportation means carrying of people. So, not only people, even we can carry goods, we can carry animals, we can carry things, services, everything. Completely, it is called transportation. So, we use different types of transportation to carry these things according to the distance, according to our requirement. We carry different types of things. So, transport or transportation refers to a system of carrying. Carrying means taking one place to the other, moving from one place to the other. So, system of carrying people, animals, goods and services from one place to the other. See, you can see here different modes of transport. See on the picture, a train is there, car is there, bike, aeroplane is there, truck is there, ship is there. So these are the different ways of transport. So we need to transport people, and we need transportation for personal, commercial, or other reasons. What do you mean by this personal and commercial? Personal means to ourselves. For example, you take me. See, I am coming from Kazipet. So I'm coming from Kazipet to school. Now, how I am coming? I need a transportation now. So I am coming daily on a bike. This is my personal transportation. Okay. And now school will provide you school bus. You will come in the school bus. When you come to school, you will come in the school bus. This is school is providing you transportation. Okay, these are all personal transportation. Commercial means the people, those who are doing business, they want to stretch their business to different parts of the country. For example, I'll give you one example. Now I am there, I have a cottage industry. Cottage industry means I am preparing, either I am preparing candles or I am preparing soaps. Okay, I am producing, my production is candles. Or let me take, my production is soaps or any other dairy products. So I want to stretch my business. So what I will do, I will transport my products to different parts of the country. Okay, different parts of the country I will transport. So this is called commercial. Commercial means to stretch the business. Whatever the business I am doing, I want to stretch it to all the parts. So my products everyone should use. Yes, I think that my products everyone should use. My candles everyone should take. My soaps, whatever I am producing, everyone should use it. Either my dairy products. For example, you take dairy products means milk, curd, ice creams, butter, ghee, everything. All this comes under dairy products. So I want all the people to use it. So what I will do, I will transport it to other places. And other reasons also. What are the other reasons? Other reasons are like, for example, you are in India and your relatives are in America. Now you want to send them something parcel. For example, now you have prepared the home foods. Now you want to send these home foods to your relatives. Now what you will do, you will send these home foods to your relatives by parcels. By parcel you will send. Okay, this is other reasons. Like this, we need transport for our personal, commercial, and other reasons also. And we need it every time and everywhere. Yes, we need it every time and everywhere. Each and every minute we need it, and everywhere we need it. And it enables to socialize and to boost business. Socialize means complete society. It is used for complete society. Socialism, we develop friendship with the others. Complete, we maintain the social equality in the society. Boost our business means our business also will increase. So that is called as boosting the business. So once again, children, we need transport for personal use, commercial use, and other reasons also. So I gave you one example for each one. Personal use means, for example, I told I am coming by my own transportation. Commercial use means I want to stretch my business, so I will send my products. Other reasons means, for example, you want to send anything to other people who are there far away. So you will send. So like this, you will use this transportation everywhere. Nowadays, there are various means of transportation available to us. Yes, ma. Now we are very lucky. We are in a this type of generation where we are having all the types of transport facilities. In olden days, no, these many facilities were not there. People used to walk from one place to the other, miles together. Then afterward, they used bullock carts, bicycles. Then slowly, all came to existence. I'll give you one example also. Even in some places in now also, people don't have this bus facility, so they have to come by bullock carts or by walk, even some places. Okay, in olden days it was there. So according to our distance, our convenient, Yes, we can choose different types of transports. What are there? Bullock carts, bicycles, cars, motorbikes, buses, trains, ships, or aeroplanes, depending upon the distance to be covered, time, and even money. Also, very, very important. See, for example, you want to go to America, you can't take a bullock cart. Bullock cart will not go to America. Yes or no? Yes, you want to go to America, or you want to go to UK, United Kingdom, or London, or Canada. You can't go in a bullock cart. You have to go definitely in a aeroplane. Yes, you want to go to a village which is there here near Varangal. You can't go by a aeroplane. Highly impossible because no aeroplane facility is there to side village. Okay. So depending upon the place, depending upon the distance, we take different types of transport facilities. So people who are living in the villages, they want to transport their agricultural products. They use bullock carts. Okay, they take the rice, wheat, grains, all the things in bullock carts, or nowadays they are using tractors also. And bicycles, yes, again, people those who are living in villages, they go by bicycles to their nearby farms, agricultural farms. Cars. Cars means see, like a long distance you can go. Like for example, you want to go from Varangal to Hyderabad, you need to use a car. And car, the people who are very enough, they have enough money. Those who have capability of buying a car, they will go by the cars. Otherwise, they will go by buses or trains. Motorbikes. Motorbike is very, very important nowadays. Each and everyone has this motorbike because we can use this motorbike for different purposes. You can drop your children at school, you can go to market, bring vegetables, you can go to grocery. Yes, you can drop your children in schools, railway stations, bus stations, like that. So motorbike is compulsory. Train also. Yes, some places we can go only by train. So then we prefer train, like long distance where it takes more than 12 hours. Then we have to go by train. For example, you are going to Tirupati. Yes, now it is nearly 12 to 16 hours it takes. So that many hours you can't sit. So you have to go by a train. Ships. This is very, very important. See, ship means it travels only on water. So the place where you can travel on the ship means which you can go for water transportation, then ship is compulsory. Then aeroplanes, I said no already. So depending upon the distance, so you want to go for other countries, then you have to go definitely by aeroplanes only. So these are the different modes of transport here. Okay, bullock carts, camel carts, horse carts, tongas, cars, bikes, cycles. Okay, train, ships, aeroplanes. So these are the different ways of transports. All these transports depend upon how much distance we are going, the time, and even money also. And people who prefer, those who have more money, they will go by aeroplane. Those who don't have that much money, they go by train. Okay, that depends upon the financial position, the time also, sometimes even time also. Now, coming to the types of transportation. So there are three types of or three modes of transportation. What are the three modes of transportation? Land transportation, water transportation, and air transportation. Land is again divided into two types, roadways and railways. Roadways and railways. So land transportation is again divided into two types, roadways and railways. Water transport means waterways and air transportation means airways. Now let us see today roadways. Road. Roadways and railways comes under land transportation because on the land only, yes, they construct the roads and on the land only they construct these railway tracks. Okay, that's why these two modes comes under land transportation. Land, yeah, see here, land transportation. Land transportation is again divided into roadways and railways. You know what are roadways and railways. Roadways means Completely we use road, tar road, to travel from one place to the other. Railways means the train that runs on the track. These railway tracks. That's why it is called as railways. Now, roadways. So, good roads are necessary for the development of a country. Roads are very, very important. Really, roads are very, very important. And to move from one place to the other without any disturbance, without any problems, a good road is compulsory. Even if you want to travel, if you want to transport, if you want to do business, whatever it may be, a good roads are very, very important. And these roads are made up of coal tar, cement, and gravel. These are the materials used for making of roads. Everyone, please listen carefully. This you will get as a bit again. Good roads are necessary for the development of a country. Yes, roads are made of coal tar, cement, and gravel. Coal tar. I will show you what is coal tar. See here. Can you see? So roads are made up of coal tar. Yes, cement. So first what they will do, they will take a land, means the area where they want to construct the road, they will take that land. First they will put gravel. Gravel means, no, stones with cement, mixing of stones with cement. I think most all of you have seen at the time of this slab construction. Slab. At the construction of slab, construction of slab, they use this cement and gravel. Gravel means small stones. Okay, that stones they mix with cement and sand. So that is called gravel. So first they will put one layer of gravel. Then when that layer, everything gets very tight and very what strong. Then on that again they will put this coal tar. You call it as coal tar. Okay, see here how they are laying. So after this layer, again from top of that they will do very strong. So this is the procedure of making the road. See here, you can see different types of roads, how they are making, and most of you have seen, I think so. Okay, so these roads are made of coal tar, cement, and gravel. So the metalled roads help us to travel in all weather conditions. That is very, very important. For example, it is raining very heavily, and if the road is not properly, everything wherever you see mud is there, then you can't travel. Your vehicle will stuck into that mud. So a good road is to very important to travel in any season, not only in rainy season, even in summer season it is important, even in winter season, and especially rainy season. What happen, everywhere water will be there. If the road is not clear, if the road is not good, water will stay stagnant and it becomes mud and vehicles will stuck into that roads. So in all the seasons this type of roads are very, very important. And India is a being a big country, and it has a large networks of roads. Our India is a big country, and we have nearly 29 states, and each and every state is connected to other state. We call them as national highways. Okay, so India has a large network of roads. The state capitals and important cities are connected to each other by national highways. See, for example, you can take here from Warangal to Hyderabad. Warangal is one district, Hyderabad is one district. So one district is connected with other district. Like this, all the districts will connect, and every state capital is connected to other state capital. For example, you take our Telangana state capital is Hyderabad. It is connected with Andhra state capital Amaravati. Then that Amaravati is connected to other state capitals, Maharashtra state capital, okay, Karnataka state capital, Tamil Nadu state capital, Chennai, Kerala state capital, Thiruvananthapuram, like that. All the state capitals are connected to each other by this national highways. That's why wherever you can see toll gates, nowadays it is very, very important. Toll gates are there. Then they will write on the toll gates, this is national highway, NH1, NH2, NH3, NH4, like that. So many NH are there in our country. Okay, so these are the, see here. The Grand Trunk Road or NH2 is the oldest road in India. The national highway connects Amritsar to Kolkata. Grand Trunk Road, you call it as Grand Trunk Road or NH2, means National Highway 2. It is the oldest road in India. Why it is the oldest road? Because at the time of Britishers only this road was constructed. That's why it is the oldest road. It has a long history. Okay, and this highway connects Amritsar to Kolkata. Where is Amritsar? Near New Delhi. And where is Kolkata? West Bengal. So much long it is. So these two roads are connected. Next coming, national highways are constructed and maintained by the central government of India, not state governments. Okay, national highways are maintained by central governments and state highways are maintained by state government. Very, very important point. National highways are constructed and maintained by the central government. And to create more highways, the Golden Quadrilateral project was launched in India. So to create more highways in India, we call it as Golden Quadrilateral. See here, this is the Golden Quadrilateral. They have given you in your course book also. You can see in your course book, India map is there and you can see a quadrilateral shape in this red color in your book, orange color. You can see here. So this is the Golden Quadrilateral. See this book, this page. You have this page now. So in this page, they have given this Golden Quadrilateral. So I have given you on the screen also. You can see the blue color one. This is the Golden Quadrilateral project in India. It is connecting, moreover, so much long distance. Mainly, it is connecting the 4 metropolitan cities like Delhi, Mumbai, Kolkata, Chennai. So from north to west, west to south, south to east, and east to again north. So like this, 4 major important cities it is connecting. New Delhi, Kolkata, Mumbai, Chennai. So this is called as Golden Quadrilateral Project launched in India. It connects 4 major cities. New Delhi, Kolkata, Mumbai, Chennai. Very, very important point. Remember up to here.